Hey everyone, welcome. I'm MisterBo, and in today's video we're going to be speculating about the Trials mode in Destiny 2. We've got four main things I'm going to be going over and giving you my thoughts on how these things may change when we see Trials in Destiny 2. So we're going to be going over what the game mode might be in Trials, how they might now reward us, and maybe the new location we'll be going to if we do get a flawless. The trial system, so the 9 and 0, how you get to that flawless, and the boons and things you acquire to get there, how those might change, and then finally, maybe when we will see trials actually launch in Destiny 2. So let's begin with the game mode. Now, obviously in Destiny 1, Trials was a 3v3 game mode. Now, everything in Destiny 2 is 4v4, so that does change things up slightly. And we already know of the game modes that are going to be in Destiny 2. We have Control, we have Supremacy, we have Clash, we have Countdown, and we also have Survival, which two of those are classed as competitive game modes, and that is Countdown and Survival. We don't have the standard elimination like we had in Destiny 1. So in Destiny 2, might we see Trials adopt one of these two game modes, whether it's Countdown or Survival? Personally, I think Countdown would fit more towards that Trials game mode like we saw in Destiny 1. It's pretty much just elimination, but you have objectives thrown in there as well, and I think that could play really nicely into how Trials would work. Of course, they could introduce elimination when Trials actually comes out, like they did with Destiny 1. When the House of Wolves came out, there was no elimination beforehand, and then as soon as Trials hit the game, there was this brand new elimination game mode, and they could do the similar thing here with Destiny 2. Now, they could also do what they do with maps. Every week, there's a different map in Trials to keep things fresh. Well, possibly there could be a new game mode every week. It alternates between maybe Countdown, Elimination and Survival, making it kind of feel fresh each week. You know, one week you might have Countdown on the Altar map, the next week it could be Survival on Midtown, and it just switches it up, meaning you've got more replayability within Trials. So I think that could be something really cool to see, a changing of the game modes each week. Now when it comes to rewards in Trials, they're probably the most sought after rewards. Some of the Destiny 1 Trials guns were super good in PvP, and the armor looked really cool as well. Obviously it was Trials of Osiris in Destiny 1, and we believe it to be Trials of the 9 in Destiny 2, so we're probably going to lose the Egyptian theme when it comes to these rewards. As to whether there will be a new theme, maybe, we aren't too sure. We don't actually know if it is going to be Trials of the 9 or if it is Trials of Osiris again. We'll just have to wait and see on that. If it does turn out to be Trials of the 9, I think what would be really cool to see is have Xur as the brand new Trials vendor. Him move from the tower to one of the new locations, whether that's the farm or one of the other rumoured social spaces, and he appears every Friday like he normally would. However, this time he doesn't sell you exotics, he gives you your passage for the Trials of the 9. Could be pretty cool to see. Now of course, the main thing with Trials is the rewards. You play Trials to get those awesome rewards, you try and get to 9 and 0 to get those awesome rewards and head to the lighthouse. Now I think the reward system in Trials of Osiris was pretty decent. You know, if you got 5 wins you get a piece of armor, if you got 7 wins you get a weapon, if you got to the lighthouse you'd get like an adept weapon, maybe just a random weapon, sometimes a shader, a piece of armor, maybe a bond, and then of course they introduced ornaments later on. And Trials had a pretty good end screen reward system where you just get a random drop after your match if you won, and if you lost you'd get passage coins. I think that was all pretty decent and worked pretty well. Obviously they're going to have to change it when it comes to the lighthouse, because I don't think adept weapons are going to be a thing anymore with the new weapon system with the kinetic and energy weapons. So maybe this time they have 2 sets of Trials weapons. One set that is just earned through playing Trials, getting those 5 wins, getting those 7 wins just as random drops at the end of games, and then you have another completely different set of weapons that are only going to be able to be earned by people who have got to 9 and 0. I think that would be a better solution than the adept weapons, because obviously they're not going to be able to do that. But I don't think they really need to change too much when it comes to rewards. Something that I do feel they need to change, however, is the way boons work. When Trials of Osiris first launched, you had the 3 boons, one that would give you a win before you started, one that if you lost it wouldn't count as a loss, and then one your first win would count as 2 wins. And you could activate them whenever you wanted, so people would activate like the first 2 boons to get a win and get your first win as 2 wins, and then they'd save their mercy until they got like 6 wins and pop it on then, so just in case they came up against a hard team they wouldn't get that loss. Of course, Bungie then changed that, so you had to actually activate them before you even started a run if you wanted to use them. And I think that kind of limited people. I preferred it how it originally was, where you could pick and choose where your boons activated. Maybe introduce some new boons, change things up a bit, maybe just scrap boons altogether, make it real hardcore. However, I know Bungie want to make things more accessible, so that might not be a good idea. So I definitely think they need to change the way that the system works in terms of how you use your boons and stuff. I think the reward system is pretty decent as it is. Of course, things can always be changed. So the final thing about Trials is, when are we going to actually see it in game? Now, it has been confirmed in an interview with IGN that Trials will be returning soon after launch. It's going to be before the first DLC, which is the Osiris themed DLC. Now, we don't know when that DLC is going to drop. The rumour, speculation is December, because that's when the Dark Below came out. So if we are taking the Osiris DLC to come in December, then we have 3 months for Trials of Osiris, Trials of the Nine Trials to launch. When Destiny 2 launches, we're probably going to see 2 to 3 weeks before the raid launches. I don't think Bungie wants to launch the raid and Trials at the same time. I think they want to give the raid a little bit of space to breathe. So I reckon we'll see Trials launch in mid-October, early November. That will give everyone a chance to get to sort of the max light level, or to have enough gear to actually compete in Trials, as well as complete the raid, maybe get some cool weapons in there that's going to help you. And that would then give them enough time to say, yeah, let's introduce elimination into this as well. So I think we'll see Trials in mid-October. Maybe they'll introduce a new map if the Festival of the Lost comes around again, like they did in Destiny 1. They introduced Cathedral of the Dusk when the Festival of the Lost came around, and then obviously they had that special Trials when Festival of the Lost was live. I don't know if we're going to see that again. I don't know if a lot of people like that, but yeah, I reckon mid-October is when we will see Trials return. As to whether it's Osiris, 9, or maybe something completely different that we have no idea as to what it is yet. I can't wait to see what it's going to be. One thing before I go, I kind of forgot to mention this, is the location of the lighthouse. Obviously it's not going to be the lighthouse anymore, it's not going to be on Mercury probably. If it is Trials of the Nine, then we're probably going to be seeing it located somewhere around Jupiter. Best bet is Europa. We've seen a lot of concept art for Europa in Destiny 1. We've also seen a lot of concept art for a snowy type location in Destiny 2, but there's actually a moon of Saturn, so I reckon we'll be seeing Europa as the new lighthouse or flawless location when it comes to Destiny 2, if it is tied to the 9 at all. So let me know what you guys think of Trials in Destiny 2. Are you excited for it? What changes would you like to see made in Trials? What game mode would you like to see Trials be played on this time around? And are there any changes you'd like to see to the Trials flawless system? Whether that's the whole getting to 9 and 0, maybe they change that, maybe you only get to like 8 and 0, maybe they add more to that. And when do you think Trials will launch as well? Do you think it will be around mid-October like I suggest, earlier, later? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this, because I am super excited about Trials. It was one of the last things that kept me playing Destiny 1, and I can't wait to see what changes they've made in Destiny 2. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know by giving the like button a big old hug. If you want to see more speculation videos like this as well, do let me know, because I'll be sure to do more leading up to the launch of Destiny 2, and then I'm sure there will be a ton of speculation leading up into the first DLC. Subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all the Destiny 2 content, and I think you can tick that little bell as well to be notified when my videos go live. But apart from that, hopefully you guys have an awesome day. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.